FIFA wanted this World Cup to feel like the future. More cameras, more officials in the booth, more technology, more certainty. The promise was simple: fewer mistakes, cleaner decisions, less controversy. But then Argentina walked into another knockout match. Another opponent walked away furious, and one ugly nickname started spreading across football social media: VARgentina. That nickname is not proof of corruption. It is not evidence that a tournament is fixed. But it is evidence of something FIFA should fear almost as much: a complete collapse of trust. Because once fans stop arguing about whether a referee made the right decision and start arguing about whether the system itself is protecting certain teams, the institution has already lost control of the story, and that is exactly where FIFA is right now. Argentina are in the World Cup semifinals. On the pitch, they are still dangerous, still dramatic, still capable of surviving pressure and producing a final punch when the match looks like it is slipping away. But off the pitch, their run has become surrounded by complaints, counter-complaints, VAR reviews, federation anger, referee explanations, and a growing feeling that the technology designed to calm football has somehow made everyone even more suspicious. Reuters reported that Argentina's route to the semi-final against England has been accompanied by repeated complaints from opponents over refereeing decisions, while social media critics have used the VARgentina label to suggest the tournament has favored Lionel Messi's side. The latest flashpoint came in Kansas City, in Argentina's quarterfinal against Switzerland. Argentina won 3-1 after extra time, with Julian Alvarez and Lautaro Martinez scoring late to send the holders through and set up a semi-final with England in Atlanta. But the match turned on a moment that Switzerland will not forget quickly. Breel Embolo was sent off in the 72nd minute after receiving a second yellow card for simulation, following a lengthy VAR review tied to mistaken identity. The referee had initially cautioned Argentina's Leandro Paredes before the decision was changed, and Swiss coach Murat Yakin was left furious. Think about what that actually means. Switzerland had just equalized. Denan Ndoye had dragged them back into the game. The Swiss were not being overwhelmed. They were not hanging on for survival. They had made Argentina uncomfortable, forced Emiliano Martinez into saves, and turned the crowd from celebration into nervous noise. Then came the review, then came the second yellow, then came the red card, and from that point on, the match slowly tilted. This is why the controversy has exploded. Not because Argentina definitely did something wrong, not because every decision against their opponents was automatically incorrect, but because the pattern is becoming louder than the explanation. Before Switzerland, there was Egypt. The round of 16, Egypt lost 3-2 to Argentina after leading, and then seeing a second-half goal ruled out following a VAR check for a foul in the build-up. Egypt also felt a later challenge on Mohamed Salah should have been penalized before Argentina launched the move that led to the winner. Egypt's federation said several key decisions raised serious concerns about consistency and fairness, while coach Hassam Hassan suggested after the match that pressure may have existed to keep Argentina alive in the tournament. FIFA refereeing chief Pierluigi Collina rejected allegations of bias and defended the officials' independence. Before Egypt, there was Algeria. In the group stage, Algeria complained after Lionel Messi was not sent off for stepping on Issa Mandi's calf. Messi stayed on, scored a hat-trick, and Algeria later filed a complaint alleging poor refereeing. Again, this does not prove favoritism. Football is full of disputed calls. Every tournament creates teams who feel wronged, but when three separate opponents in the same run all leave with grievances, the problem stops being only about one referee's whistle. It becomes about perception, and perception, in football, is oxygen. FIFA's first response has been exactly what you would expect from a governing body under pressure: defend the integrity of the officials, defend the system, and warn against unfounded attacks. Collina said criticism of decisions is part of football, but he condemned questioning the integrity of match officials and argued that such allegations can create danger for referees and their families. On that point, he is right. No referee should be abused. No official's family should be threatened. No fan outrage should become personal harassment. But FIFA's mistake is assuming that protecting referees and questioning the system are the same thing. They are not. You can defend referees as human beings while still asking whether FIFA has built a protocol that is too broad, too complicated, and too easy to apply inconsistently. You can reject conspiracy theories while still admitting that fans are confused. You can say officials are independent while still asking why the same type of incident feels different depending on the match, the team, or the size of the moment. That is where the counter-response matters. Former FIFA referee and ITV rules analyst Christina Unkel told Reuters she believed the new protocol had become too broad and risked moving VAR into re-refereeing territory. She also said fan confidence has been badly damaged, not just on social media but across the wider tournament conversation. That phrase, re-refereeing, is the heart of this entire scandal. VAR was sold as a safety net. It was supposed to catch the obvious disaster. The clear red card missed, the wrong identity, the offside nobody could see live, the penalty so blatant that the stadium gasps before the whistle even arrives. But now the booth is not just correcting mistakes. It is reshaping the emotional architecture of matches. A goal is scored, then everyone waits. A tackle happens, then everyone waits. A celebration begins, then everyone looks at the screen. Football's most powerful instinct, the instant release, is being replaced by suspicion, and FIFA has helped create that suspicion by expanding VAR's role. For this World Cup, IFAB and FIFA added new areas where VAR can intervene, including clearly incorrect yellow cards connected to red card situations, mistaken identity, incorrect corner kicks, and some fouls before restarts. Reuters also reported that VAR interventions in the 2026 tournament quickly exceeded the totals from the 64-game World Cups in 2018 and 2022. Even before this 104-match tournament was finished, that is not a small adjustment. That is a different tournament experience. The wider pattern is everywhere. Croatia felt the pain against Portugal when a late equalizer was ruled out after ball sensor technology detected the faintest of touches in the build-up. Croatian officials wrote to FIFA for an explanation, calling the call an abuse of technology, while Luka Modric argued that VAR should intervene for massive mistakes, not gray areas. This is the issue. Football can survive mistakes. It always has. What it struggles to survive is the feeling that nobody knows what the standard is anymore. A player in one match gets punished. A similar-looking incident elsewhere leads to a different outcome. One goal is pulled back for something far away from the finish. Another appeal is waved away. One review takes forever. Another moment never reaches the monitor. Fans do not need to be experts in the laws of the game to understand inconsistency. They can feel it. They hear the silence after the goal. They see the players stop celebrating. They watch managers point at the screen. They understand when the rhythm of the sport is being interrupted by a system that claims to be objective, but still depends on human interpretation. This is why the Argentina story is becoming FIFA's biggest problem. Not because Argentina are villains. They are not. They are doing what great tournament teams do: survive, adapt, exploit moments, and punish tired opponents. Lionel Scaloni even admitted after the Swiss match that Argentina had luck on their side because Switzerland had a player sent off. That is not a scandalous confession. It is a manager being honest about knockout football. But FIFA cannot hide behind Argentina's quality. The question is not whether Argentina are good enough to reach a semi-final. Of course they are. The question is whether the tournament feels fair enough for everyone else to accept that run without a shadow over it. There is a historical echo here. Football has always argued about injustice. Diego Maradona's Hand of God in 1986 became one of the sport's most famous controversies, precisely because one missed decision changed a World Cup story forever. VAR was supposed to be the answer to that kind of outrage. It was supposed to stop one human mistake from becoming a national wound. Reuters described VAR's original purpose as a remedy for clear and obvious errors, like that infamous Maradona handball. But the irony is brutal. The technology built to prevent another Hand of God has created a new kind of argument. Instead of asking, how did the referee miss that? Fans now ask, why did VAR look at that but not this? Instead of one obvious mistake, we get 20 slow-motion debates. Instead of closure, we get more angles. The stakes are bigger than Argentina versus England. They are bigger than Egypt's anger, Switzerland's frustration, or Croatia's complaint. This is about how major tournaments are going to feel in the next decade. If every big match becomes a courtroom, if every goal becomes provisional, if every referee is second-guessed by a booth with expanding power, then FIFA risks changing the product it is trying to protect. Football is not just accuracy. It is rhythm. It is emotion. It is the roar before the replay. It is the forward already sprinting toward the corner flag because he knows the ball is in. It is the defender screaming for offside even when he knows he has been beaten. It is messy, human, unfair, beautiful, and impossible to fully control. FIFA does not need to abandon technology. That would be unrealistic. Goal line technology works because it answers one question cleanly. Did the ball cross the line? Semi-automated offside can help when the issue is factual. But the more VAR expands into judgment, interpretation, and match management, the more it becomes another referee, only slower, less visible, and harder for fans to trust. So now the viewer has to decide. Are we watching Argentina ride their luck through the most pressure-packed tournament in football? Are we watching FIFA's expanded technology expose the limits of its own promise? Or are we watching a sport slowly lose the emotional simplicity that made it global in the first place? Because the most important image from Kansas City may not be Alvarez's strike, Martinez's rebound, or Messi walking toward another semifinal at 39 years old. It may be the pause, that strange, heavy pause when everyone in the stadium looked away from the players and toward the screen, waiting for football to be decided somewhere else. And if FIFA cannot fix that feeling, then VARgentina is not just a nickname. It is a warning. Now I want to hear your verdict. Is this just normal World Cup outrage, or has FIFA allowed VAR to become too powerful? Drop your take in the comments. Hit like if you want more tournament breakdowns like this, and subscribe for the stories behind the scoreline, because this World Cup is not slowing down.